familiar with the stages of change. Here's how we use it with family members. So I'll draw out the stages of change and I'll explain it to them, just like we do to our clients and to different people that we're working with. And I'll go through the different stages of change by explaining pre-contemplation, not ready to make change because there's nothing really to make change about. Contemplation, okay, there might be something I'm ready to make changes about. Preparation, starting to prepare. Action, I'm doing it. Maintenance, I'm doing it for 6 months or longer. And then I'll explain how some people believe that once you're in the stages of change, you're in forever. And then there's others that believe that you can graduate or terminate and move on to change in regards to something else. So I'll ask family members to pick where they think their loved one is. And I'll explain that sometimes we're tempted to pick where our loved one is based on their words or what they're telling us. Like, I'm desperate to go to rehab. But I ask them to kind of peel back away from words and go more into action, more into kind of gut instinct. Where do they think their family member is based on evidence? Often when they find themselves doing family work at Forecast, their family members are typically somewhere down here. So let's say, for the sake of this example, that they're in pre-contemplation. What change? There's no change. I'm fine. I just smoke a little bit of pot. Then I'll ask the family member where they are in their readiness for their loved one to make change. Oftentimes, they're here or here. I am so ready for my loved one to make change. I know all the reasons why smoking pot's not good for their brain. I know that when they smoke pot, they don't go to school, and I really want them to be going to school. I know that they could cut back, and I've already called the doctor to figure out safe ways for them to cut back. Oftentimes, the family member's running. They're so ready. They've done a lot of the work. They've done a lot of the research. They are in action, ready for their family member to make change. Meanwhile, their family member is in pre-contemplation. What change? Why change? There's no problem. So we use this as a stepping stone to then start talking about communication. So I'll explain that if their loved one's in pre-contemplation and they're in action, no wonder they're miscommunicating. No wonder they're missing each other. Because you're running and they might not even be ready to walk yet. You're going, let's change this behavior, and they're like, what behavior? So we just use that as a platform to start talking about the miscommunication and how they're seeing the same thing from two totally different lenses. And then I will use the stages of change to talk about their readiness to set up boundaries, to start unhooking from unhelpful behaviors. Remember the whirlpool? I'll talk about this as a way to assess their readiness to maybe take some steps back from the whirlpool, to stop those urges from wanting to jump in and rescue, to stop that repeated pattern or behavior of their loved one screaming for help and them trying to rescue and the loved one saying, no thanks, don't need your help, and that happening over and over again. How ready are they to maybe take some steps backwards, to unhook, set boundaries, or practice loving detachment? And this is a great way to start having that conversation of their own readiness. Often they come into group saying, how can I help my loved one? I'm here, I'm ready, I'm a helper, and I want to help them. Give me all the tools I need so I can help them. This is a great way to say, we can't control their behaviors. We can't cure them. We can't control them, but we can take care of ourselves. And this is a way to gauge our own readiness to maybe start self-caring rather than rescuing.